local all morning. The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
If you're not safe at home, if you're not safe at school, churches, the grocery store, how could anybody live?
Well, 2 people were shot dead within an hour of each other. Neighbors say it's time for an end to the violence, but how? And what exactly happened?
And just as Hurricane Fiona begins to weaken and communities across the Caribbean and Canada start to pick up the pieces, Tropical Storm Ian has just become a hurricane in the past hour, and it could be headed to Florida. We're going to be tracking the storms for you and getting a closer look at the preparations and forecasting straight ahead for you.
Also, a new survey giving us some insight into businesses in Connecticut in the workforce. We'll tell you what employers are struggling with the most and how some of them say they are tackling a problem getting people hired.
Good Monday morning. Thanks so much for starting off your new day and your new week with us. I'm Eric Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning. We're starting with the forecast here so you can plan your Monday coming off of a weekend. Good morning, Matt Scott.
It was a good week. We did come off a weekend.
Yeah, I was trying to think about how to characterize the weekend, then I realized I don't know.
But this one, by the way, Erica, had 2 days in it, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Coming up.
Go figure.
I know, right? We're reinventing the weekend wheel here. Good morning to you. Yeah, listen, weekend was great. Yesterday, a lot more cloud coverage and a little rain at the end of the fairs and festivals going on, but really not a big problem. The overnight rain, a couple of thunderstorms out there. It's long gone. May get 1 or 2 more drips later on this afternoon, but we have a breezy Monday with seasonal temperatures. And yes, we are watching Ian. Could be a real troublemaker for Florida. And then we'll talk about that coming up. 60 in Hartford, 62 in New Haven. Look at Groton at 66. Got a southwesterly, westerly wind. There goes the rain from overnight, long gone. However, as we show you the up-close guidance, you may get 1 or 2 renegade showers in there. Most of you stay dry later on this afternoon. That's just about it for rain for the entire week. 58 degrees, partly cloudy this morning. Got an isolated shower in there. Again, the exception and not the rule, with high temperatures just about where they need to be in the low to mid 70s. Talk about where the numbers are going. We're going to talk about where Ian's going too. You're going to want to hear that. That's all coming up in a few minutes. Let's go to the roads right now. Lauren Zenzi with a look at traffic on this Monday after a weekend that for her, well, like everyone else, had 2 days.
Yeah. Went to the Durham Fair. It was a lot of fun, I had to say.
Yeah.
Good morning to you, Matt. Good morning, everyone. Here in the CTDOT Traffic Center, a relatively quiet morning out there on the roads. Didn't see a lot of construction in and around the capital city. So as we zoom in right over here, you can see we do have a little bit of delay on the eastbound side of I-84 that actually just disappeared. So no delay there. That's some good news. That's the beauty of traffic. It's forever changing. 91 north and southbound looking good. Route 2 moving freely. 5 and 15 also looking good right now. As we take a live look out in Hartford, we can see I-91 north and southbound. Some light volume out on the roads, but nothing to complain about. No backups or anything like that. Over in Waterbury, following suit, no construction out there. Things are moving freely in and out of the Mixed Master over on I-84. As we take a live look in New Haven, we are seeing some light to moderate volume out there, but overall things are looking good. And lastly, let's end things down in Fairfield County. Traffic moving just fine on 95 north and southbound, also Route 15. That'll do it for traffic right now. I'll see you back at 6:30. For now, Tim, back over to you.
Thank you. Police in Hamden are investigating 2 shootings that happened in the span of a half hour Saturday night. And in one of those shootings, an innocent woman was shot inside her own home. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc now joins us live from the Hamden Police Department. Julia, what happened here?
Hi, good morning to you. Well, we got a chance to speak with the husband of that 37-year-old woman who was shot, as you mentioned, while she was just sitting in her living room watching TV on Butler Street around 10 o'clock on Saturday night, when suddenly her husband says he heard about 10 gunshots. One of those bullets went through the home and struck his wife. Others went into the home as well. Now, that woman, who's 37 years old, was sent to the hospital. She had to have surgery yesterday to remove the bullet. Police say they do not believe she was the intended target here. However, that wasn't the end of it. The violence continued. Just 30 minutes later, another person was shot in Hamden. This time, it happened on Warner Street, about 5 minutes away from that first scene. Police responded there, and they found a 39-year-old man with multiple gunshot wounds. He was taken to Yale New Haven Hospital and is now experiencing some critical injuries. Now, we did talk with one man who grew up near both of these neighborhoods. He says things have definitely changed for the worse.
This neighborhood was never like this. This isn't the neighborhood I grew up with. We used to be outside. We used to patrol our streets ourselves because we knew everybody. There's a lot of people here, good people, homeowners, who are very much invested in this neighborhood, and we just deserve better.
Now, police are actively investigating both of these shootings. They haven't told us about a suspect or suspects so far. They're looking through the neighborhood, looking through surveillance video. If there is anything, if you know anything, they're asking you to please help them out and give Hamden Police a call so they can figure out who might be responsible here. We are live in Hamden. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61 News.
Julia, thanks. 6:05 now, and in Hartford, another shooting has sent one person to the hospital. This happened on Wethersfield Avenue on Sunday. Police say they arrived after reports of gunshots, and later a man in his 20s showed up at a local hospital with gunshot wounds. He's expected to be okay. Officials are still investigating. And Hartford firefighters continuing to investigate a large fire that broke out on Park Street. It's relocated 4 people and forced 2 Hartford store owners to close their business for now. Now, you're looking at the scene early Saturday morning, leaving King's Package Store, MVP Barbershop, and 2 apartments destroyed. Thankfully, though, no one was injured. Police are still investigating the cause of the crash.
We are still working to learn more about how many people were hurt in Plainville last night when a car and motorcycle collided on I-84 East near exit 33. The Connecticut State Police did confirm there were serious injuries. It happened just after 10 p.m. and they closed the exit for a while, but it is back open this morning.
Well, last night, just before 7 p.m., someone was driving on Hebron Avenue near the Route 2 East on-ramp and noticed a motorcycle and an SUV crash. Well, we know now that the crash ended up being deadly. Emergency crews got to the scene and transported the motorcyclist and also one person who was in the SUV to a nearby hospital for serious injuries. But once there, the motorcyclist was pronounced dead. Glastonbury police are asking anyone who may have seen the crash, please give them a call as they're continuing their investigation.
Well, in Meriden, North Broad Street was temporarily closed after a driver hit a pole Sunday. Here's a look at the scene from earlier Sunday morning. Still no word yet on who is involved in the crash or how it happened. Just keep in mind that the crash did knock down some wires. Also, a man died after his car plunged into the water at Saybrook Point Marina late Saturday night. Police said the victim was 74-year-old Stephen Mark Wall, and he was pronounced dead despite some heroic efforts by bystanders who jumped into the water to try to bring him back to shore. It's still not known why Wall's car went into the water in the first place. All right, 6:08, here's a live look at the White House right now, where President Biden is going to be hosting the Atlanta Braves later this morning. But baseball isn't the only competition on which he'll be focused today. A select group of leaders on Capitol Hill have been summoned for the 3rd meeting of the White House Competition Council. It's going to happen this afternoon. What is the council? Well, it all started with an executive order from the president in 2021 amidst inflation and economic instability. The goal is to strengthen capitalism by increasing competition. Officials from various different agencies and sectors are meeting to try to take action against large mergers and monopolies in everything from healthcare to technology and food and agriculture.
In international news this morning, Iran's state media is reporting that more than 40 people have been killed so far as protests continued for the death of 22-year-old Masha Amini. Now, the death of Amini, who died after being detained by the so-called morality police for not properly wearing a headscarf or hijab, sparked protests worldwide. Demonstrators say that they are fed up with the Iranian regime's strict rules for women.
I cutting my hair because many of my sister in Iran, they gonna die maybe tomorrow because of hijab, and I don't want it and I hate it.
Iranian authorities have maintained that Amini had suffered a heart attack. However, reports have indicated that she had been severely beaten. Now, the White House says that while the administration is offering assistance and does have concerns with Iran on the issue of human rights, efforts to revive the 2015 nuclear deal will continue. And we're also monitoring breaking news coming out of Russia this morning. There has been a mass shooting at a school there where police have confirmed just moments ago that 13 people have died, including 7 children. Now, according to Russian officials, 2 teachers and 2 security guards are among the dead, and 21 other people were injured. Police also saying that the gunman shot himself. Now, this is a developing story. We're going to continue to monitor it and get you an update as soon as we can.